If you have yet to experience the glory of Texas Roadhouse, there are a few things you should know before going. From knowing all about the free food you can expect to their special birthday celebrations, be prepared for the best steakhouse meal you've had in a long time. There is so much meat served at Texas Roadhouse that every location has their own butcher who cuts steaks by hand. And hand-cut, never-frozen steaks are always going to be better than the alternative. Every restaurant has a giant meat cooler too, where the meat is kept at a temperature of 34 degrees. They serve everything from ribeyes to fillets to prime rib and New York strips, along with a ton of other meaty dishes, so you know you're getting the real fresh deal.
Chaps. Wasted meat's a crime. Or it should be.
Okay then.
One Redditor, who says they work in meat prep for Texas Roadhouse, had this to say about the quality of the meat. "I don't buy it, so I can't say as to the cost, but the quality of it is good. The steaks would be the highest grade. Then the leftovers from them are used for the kebabs and dilla bites. So it may not be the best meat ever, but it is good." Texas Roadhouse spends over $1 billion on meat annually, and the restaurants serve USDA choice, which means the meat has been graded by the USDA, and are cuts of meat described like this: high quality but has less marbling than prime. Choice roasts and steaks from the loin and rib will be very tender, juicy, and flavorful, and are suited for dry heat cooking.
Roaring fires, malt beer, red meat off the bone.
Not too bad, right? Texas Roadhouse also says their beef suppliers are leaders in sustainable beef production practices, which means that the delicious steak you order has to come from a cow that was raised responsibly. According to Beef, It's What's for Dinner, sustainable beef balances efficient production with environmental, social, and economic impacts. Consumers can do their part in helping with sustainability too, they explain. Even though beef only makes up 20% of wasted food, if that were, quote, cut in half, the sustainability of the whole industry could be improved by 10%. That just means you need to be sure and eat the leftover steak you bring home from Texas Roadhouse, if there is any. And that, well, that's unlikely. In addition to hand-cutting steaks and making those yummy rolls from scratch, Texas Roadhouse also makes all their side items, salad dressing, and even croutons in-house. This matters because a lot of large chain restaurants don't bother with cooking their food from scratch, as Money Inc. explains. In most cases, when a restaurant chain grows as large as this one has, they take shortcuts in preparing meals that feature some prepackaged or frozen ingredients that are microwaved or heated in some other way and served. But creating food from scratch is part of the recipe for Texas Roadhouse's success. And according to FSR Magazine, Travis Doster, the company's senior director of communications, has said, "If you think about it, Kent Taylor, the founder of Texas Roadhouse, wanted to serve food he was proud of. Well, the men and women running our restaurants, they have that same mentality. And being proud of the food you serve your customers is probably difficult when all you're doing is dumping some frozen vegetables on a plate and sticking them in the microwave. Thank goodness Texas Roadhouse doesn't do it that way." If you're looking for a place to have a quiet night out, you might want to go somewhere else, because Texas Roadhouse is a rowdy, loud, fun place. And they like it that way. According to founder Kent Taylor, the restaurant was built on a foundation of fun. He said, "If your employees are having fun, they are going to have fun with the guests. Employees have been known to line dance, even if it is against the law." Say what? Servers at a Wichita location line danced every hour on the hour, even though it was technically illegal, thanks to an obscure city ordinance that said a restaurant that served alcohol couldn't also allow dancing without a permit.
And there was a time for this law, but not anymore. See, this is our time to dance.
Thank goodness they finally had the permit approved. If you're celebrating your birthday at Texas Roadhouse, you don't just get the standard birthday song. You get the birthday song sung to you while under a spotlight. After that, servers bring out a saddled sawhorse for the diner to sit on, while other customers are encouraged to yell yee-haw at them. Sound like your kind of birthday celebration? In addition to the buckets of peanuts in the waiting area and at your table, you also get free rolls before your meal even arrives. Delicious, warm, baked in-house rolls. They come out of the oven every 5 minutes, and fortunately, they are more than happy to bring you extra. Even better than the bread is the homemade cinnamon butter served along with it. It's a big perk, and people are obsessed with these rolls. How obsessed? One Twitter user said, "When I die, bury me with Texas Roadhouse rolls." Another lamented, "I cried last night because we accidentally left our rolls at Texas Roadhouse." But probably the best advice of all was uttered by the Twitter user who said, "Get you a man that chooses Texas Roadhouse rolls over Red Lobster biscuits." You can afford to have a favorite item at Texas Roadhouse because chances are it will still be on the menu 20 years from now. Texas Roadhouse knows what works for them and their customers. and they don't go around chasing the latest fad or changing things up on their menu according to trends or whatever molecular salad smoke with the hot chocolate blood orange infusion is all the rage these days. When FSR magazine asked company exec Travis Doster about the last time they changed the menu, he said, "We added a steakhouse filet salad. That was one of the more recent ones. That's been 4 or 5 years. It's not like a salad is some sort of wacky trend that would shock customers. There's something reassuring about knowing your favorite restaurant is still going to serve your favorite meal and that you don't have to worry about it being discontinued. Go ahead, get attached to something. It's all right."
I think I'll just,
I've been working here for 44 years. Ain't nobody ever ordered nothing but T-bone steak and a baked potato.
Texas Roadhouse is the sort of place your kids will feel right at home in. And that goes for any night of the week. And if you're a parent, that's a big deal. It doesn't matter if they make a mess, because the floor is already littered with peanut shells. And the company's senior investor relations director had this to say when it comes to why this place is so great for families. "We play really loud music, so we're not going to hear your kids screaming. It's just a comfortable place for families to go when they feel they can take their kids and they're going to be okay. I don't have to worry about them crying or screaming. It's really a nice, comfortable place." Anyone who has ever dined with a cranky toddler or a teething baby can appreciate that. It's the sort of restaurant without quiet piano music and stuffy waiters and white linen tablecloths. It's the sort of place where if your kid spills a drink, you won't feel like crawling under the table.
I want hepatitis!
Coming your way, buddy.
Texas Roadhouse always has a number of specialty cocktails on the menu, including tempting concoctions like the Jamaican Cowboy, made with rum, peach schnapps, orange and pineapple juice, and a cocktail made in honor of country singer Kenny Chesney, made with coconut rum, peach schnapps, lemonade, sweet and sour, and blue curacao. They also serve classic mixed drinks and wine, so you can certainly get in the celebratory spirit. What we're saying is, there's something for everyone on this cocktail menu. But while their mixed drinks and margaritas are delicious, some of them aren't the healthiest choices. And Eat This, Not That cautions against ordering the frozen raspberry margarita. Why? It'll set you back almost 500 calories, and it's loaded with 83 grams of sugar, way more than you should be eating in an entire day. There's good news though. You can partake of the original margarita on the rocks and drink a much more manageable 170 calories and 14 grams of sugar. Or, you could order another basket of rolls with cinnamon butter and down a few more frozen raspberry margaritas. Because you're a grown-up and you do what you want. If cocktails aren't your thing, you can also order a beer from the drinks menu and know that you're in for a treat. That's because Texas Roadhouse takes the temperature of their draft beers very seriously. Money Inc. explains, the Texas Roadhouse restaurant chain takes extra measures to ensure that each draft beer that they serve their customers has been chilled to a specific temperature. The staff is very particular about the following rules to ensure perfection. The beer is kept at a chilly temperature of 36 degrees Fahrenheit. And beer is pretty much the perfect thing to drink with a steak. No, really, it's science. Steak is a natural fit with beer because the carbonation acts as a palate cleanser, and the bitterness takes away some of the fatty mouthfeel of your favorite cut of beef. That means you aren't just drinking beer with your meal because it's 5 o'clock somewhere and your kids are yelling and you finished binge watching your favorite series on Netflix again, and the guilt is setting in. You're doing it because you're a gourmand and all fancy-like, and you know it's going to enhance the flavor of your meal. Eating out is expensive, especially if you are a family with some adults in the household who enjoy an adult beverage or two with their meal. One of the reasons Texas Roadhouse is so successful, averaging about 300,000 meals per day, is because they know their customers so well. Business Insider notes that plenty of Yelpers mention the chain's, quote, flawless execution of basic American food. People go to Texas Roadhouse because the food is reasonably priced and good quality. They can bring their kids there, they don't have to dress up, and they can relax. Those are all important, but there's even more to appreciate about the restaurant chain, especially if you like supporting businesses that are about more than just the food. They are regularly voted among the best in customer satisfaction. They are big on charitable giving. Their restaurants average 4 fundraisers a month for local nonprofits and schools. They are supportive of first responders and the military, even saying thank you with free meals for the troops on Veterans Day. And they're supporters of the Special Olympics. That's a lot, right? It's this sort of commitment to their customers and to the community that makes this place a lot more than just steaks and big margaritas. Plus, those rolls. If you love Texas Roadhouse but don't always have the time to sit down to a full meal there, you'll definitely want to know the fast casual chain called Bubba's 33. Also founded by Kent Taylor, the menu features items like burgers, wings, and pizzas, all made from scratch just like Texas Roadhouse. This restaurant also wants to be a destination for everybody, so they have a garage bar area along with a family dining section. So those without screaming kids can instead scream at big screen TVs while their favorite teams play. They claim to be a place for all things American: food, family, sports, and beer. Sounds like an excellent place to take the family and/or an excellent place to go hide from your family. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.